So, hello and good afternoon, everyone. So, thank you again for joining our free online lessons. My name is Nabi Fikri, and I am application engineer for DNM for CAD systems. So, for today's free online lessons, so I'm going to share you about the Fusion AI. Okay, so basically, I'm going to walk around with the Fusions and see what are the AIs that we have inside. There are a few AIs within the Fusion. Okay, so basically, what I cover here around five. Two of those AI need to have extensions, but the other three, you don't actually need it. Okay, so let me show. The first one is the generative design. So generative design is a design exploration uh, creations which allow AI to create design for you. So for example, here, if I have this clamping machine over here, okay, or clamping robot, and the design here is a bit bulky, and I would like to reduce the weight, or I would like to reduce the mass. So this is where generative design can come in and recreate a new part that you want based on certain criteria. So basically, this is the original that I have, and I can create something like this, a very light version of this. Okay, so let me start by showing you from the fusions. Okay, so for example, here, if I have this block here, okay, so this robot, so very bulky, and I would like to reduce the weight. Okay, so this is where I can use generative design. Okay, but generative design actually require you to have a simulation extensions. So simulation extension, you can find from here, and we have the simulation extension one. Okay, so you need to have this one. Okay, so for this case, I can go to generative design, and I can start to create studies, and I can start to apply some information required for the generative tool. So one example here is that I would like to create some parts that need to preserve. Right? So maybe I would like to create a combination from one point to another point, or one location to another point. So this is where I can add a preserve geometry. So if I turn this one on, so basically I have highlighted this area. Okay, so basically this is the bulky area that I would like to remove. So let me just show you the highlight. Okay, so that is the bulky area. And the green part here, I have created over here, some of this part over here, some of this part is right in front over here and here, so that it will create a connection between this area. So we will try to find a way to create that. But of course, this can also lead to multiple areas that maybe we don't want it to go through. So that is where you can add obstacles. So this is an example of obstacle that I tell them not to go around this area. Okay, so how I can create this type of geometry, obstacle, and also preserve is where I can add or edit model. So let me just turn back on. So for example, let's say I would like to add or preserve this area. So I can edit model, create some geometry over here. And for this case, I will leave it as a new body. And I can tell this whether I would like to preserve. So it will become green like this, or maybe I would like to obstacles. So make sure that it will not move on that particular area. Okay, for this case, let me just undo that. Right, so before I proceed, there are a few things that we can input the information over here. So this allow the outcome to align with what we need. So for example, this clamp here will need to able to hold an object. Let's say I would like to have a force when the clamping force around 1000 Newton, for example. So I would like that the AI to redesign so that it will able to withstand on this area, for example. So I can add a load. Okay, so we have the design conditions. So if you need to put some constraint on certain area, you can put that. For this case, I need to add some load here just to make sure that around this area, this design can withstand, let's say, around 1000 Newton, for example. Right. So when I click OK, and we have that right over here. Okay, so that is the load that I have put. Okay, so we have the obstacles and also the preserved geometry. So before I proceed, other things or other criteria that we can input here, I can also tell us what I would like to have for the outcome. So I can go to the objective. So my objective here, maybe I would like to maximize thickness. I can put the thick stiffness, or maybe I would like to minimize the mass. And if I needed to lower the frequency to put some minimum or maximum frequency, I can just put and tick the area over here. Okay. Or maybe displacement if there will be a bend. So I can just put tick the check mark on what information I want. So that is the objective. And another thing is how you would like to manufacture these things. So we can also create a manufacturing methods so that the AI will create designs that can be easily created. Either you use a 3D printer or milling machines or castings. So from here we have like three type of manufacturing methods. Additive, basically 3D printer. We have milling and also castings. So if I want to, I can also add another one, but for this case, I just leave it on 3 different type of manufacturings. And I can also configure what tools direction that I can move to. So for menu one, if I would like to have a bit more area that it able to generate, so I can add more to directions, or maybe I just only have Z direction milling, so I can just leave it like that. And lastly, I can also add some studies so that the AI will create the shape based on the materials that I have. Right? Let's say I would like to see or put some informations or materials that I want, so I can just find over here. So currently I already have like 5 of materials. So the generative design will take these 5 materials and it will generate for each of these materials. And you will get the result and you can pick which result that you want. Okay, so if I want to, I can also add another one, but I believe it's only limited up until 5, so I already have 5 of the material over here. And I can just run the studies from here. Okay, so I can generate. Okay, but the generation one will take a bit sometimes. It will use Autodesk Cloud Computer. So it will send the data information that I apply. It will send it to Autodesk Cloud Computer and it will generate from there. It can take like 1 hour or 2 hours or maybe days, depend on your information that you have put. For this case, I'm not going to generate, but I'm just going to show you the result that we have based on the information that we put. Okay, so this is the example result. So basically, you will get multiple variations based on information that you put. And this is where you can pick which one the best to be used for your design. Okay, so this is basically the outcomes or the information that you get, design that you get. Okay, so first of all, if I want to take a look on the parts here, so I can just click and it will show you the information. So this one is converge. Okay, so this is the using the manufacturing method by using casting, and the material here use aluminum. So maybe I don't want this, or maybe I want to do a comparison. So I can add some more items. Maybe I would like to add this part here. I can also add multiple. Maybe I would like to have this part as well, and also this part. And I can compare which one suit me the best. Okay, so this tool here is using the same material, nice blue. this one using stainless steels, and I can see the volume used for this one, the mass, which one is have a lower mass. Okay, so I can pick which one suitable for what I need. So other than that, I can also take a look based on the plot diagram. And if I want to filter out, so I can go on the left panel over here. Maybe I don't want to see, let's say titanium, because titanium probably a bit expensive. So maybe I would like to remove inconel as well, maybe aluminum as well. And I would like to reduce the size here. So I can just select based on how many value I want, or maybe how many mass that I want. So I can just filter out over here. So currently we have like 4 different results we have over here. Okay, so this is just an example. So if I would like to use this, okay, for this case, let me just undo back the filter. Okay, so maybe I would like to have use this part over here. Oh, let me just open back. Okay, so if I would like to use this, so what I can do is that I can generate a design from here. So this one will also use calculations. And at the end, once you have generated the designs, you will have something like this. Okay, so if you take a look here, it's actually using freeform. Okay, so if I want to, I can go back and I can use the freeform editor tools, maybe do some editing, for example. Okay, I can do it from here. Okay, and at the end, I will get something like this. Right, so basically, I have a lighter version of the model. Right, so that is the generative design. Okay, so for the next part, we have automated modeling. So this is a sibling of generative design. So the generative design, you need to have a simulation extension. Automated modeling, you don't need that. So everyone that have a subscription to the Fusion will have these tools that you can use. Okay, but it's a bit limited and much more simpler. So you don't need to input some of these input like materials, the force. So it's just calculating the area only. Okay, so it's just create a new part. So this can already be found. Let me just show you one example here. So I'd like to generate a new shape based on the connection that I have. Let's say this green here. I would like to create a connection between these two, between these 4 parts here. So I can find it under create, and I have automated modeling. So anybody that have access to Fusion should already have this. Okay, so if I want to, I can just connect from face to face. I would like to have this face will be connected to this face, and this face, and let's say this face. So I write this to be created as anybody, and then now can generate a shape. Okay, so if you remember before, for the generative design, we have body or obstacles that you can select. We also have this body to avoid. If you want to, you can turn on, let me just leave it complete first. But if you want to, maybe I'd like to add some obstacles so that it will not penetrate this area. I can also select body to avoid. I can select this particular area. Okay, but for now, just leave it as this. So this one will generate something around like 6. And if you don't find any that's suitable for you, you can generate a new one, and you will get a new shape based on this connection that you have. Right. So again, this part also create as a T-spline or the freeform modeling tool. So once you have create that as a final product or final model, this can be edited using the freeform. Okay, so I have some of this already done. Maybe I would like to take a look at this part here. And I can also use the slider here. Maybe I would like to make it less. materials or more bulky, I can just use the slider here. Let's say I would like to use this one, so I can just click OK, and it will generate this, so that I can now use this part into my design model. Right, so that is another design exploration that you can use. So let's take a look on the other AIs that we have inside of Fusions. So next part, we have the automated sketch constraint. So this one also should be available for you to use. So if you start drawing inside of Fusion, so you need to start with sketch, and sometimes you would like to have a fully constraints and you cannot find the area that you require to add. So this is where sketch constraints have, right? So we have the automatic sketch constraint. So example here, let me just open, let's say if I have this sketch over here. So I can add some dimensions, okay? I can continue to add some more. And maybe I would like to leave it for the AI to do it for me. And this is where you can just go to the constraint panel. Here we have the auto constraints. So just click over here, it will calculate the constraints suitable that you can use from. Okay, so if you want more constraints, so you can generate more, and you can pick which constraint that suit for you to use. So maybe I would like to use this one, and I can also filter out how many constraints that I have, how many dimensional constraints I have over here. So I can just filter out from here. But usually you would like to make it fully constrained, so I can just leave it up to the maximum. So I click OK. So I now have the constraint created, and it is fully constrained. Right. So this is dimensions, automations for the constraint part, but maybe you would like to have a dimension for the drawing or for the documentations. This is where we can find under the drawing from design. Okay, so for this case, I would like to take a look at my 3D design over here, and I would like to generate a 2D with some dimension apply. So this is also one of the AI tools that you can use over here, which is automated drawing. Okay, so over here we have multiple parts. You can use single part as well, but for my case here, I have an assembly parts. Okay, and with that, I would like to generate a drawing. So I can go to the drawing from design. And over here, you will see we have manual. So if you want to manually create, you can use manual. But if you would like to leave it for AI to create for you, you can set to automatic. You can just click OK, and it will calculate for you. So this one will take slightly a bit times because it's going to create multiple drawing, not just one. So you will get multiple drawing, including the BOM list. Okay, I believe it's already done, so I can view the shop. I can find over here, should be able to create down here. So currently, I believe it's uploading into my data panel. And you will have different type of drawing. So you have a full assembly like this, which it will create a BOM list. And each of these parts will also be created into a single drawing so that you can see the dimension for the part. Okay, so I believe it's not yet done. Oops, okay. Right, so if not, I'll show you the example that I already have. Let me see over here. Okay, so it should be able to create something like this. Okay, I'm not sure what happened there. But when you create that, it will create multiple drawing like this. So the first example that I have here is the bomb list. Okay, so it's automatically tells and add the balloon over here, so you're able to see the part list that you have, and you can see the different sheet that you currently have over here. So we have this view, we have this particular view over here. And if I want to, I can add more dimensions. So you can see here, the dimension automatically being created, with added. If I want to, I can add some more. If I go to the dimension here, I can add auto dimensions. So this one will generate multiple type of dimension that you can use. Let's say I would like to pick this one. So it will create this area here, maybe this area here. Again, I can also use density to filter out how much dimension that I want. So maybe I take a look at some other example here. Okay, so I can clear this part here. If I want more dimension, I can slide to add some more. And I can click OK. And maybe for some reason, maybe your drawing is not very tidy up. So you can add tidy up. So this is also an AI, allow you to clean up your drawing. So to put it in a place, right? Maybe you have too many dimensions and item is close together. So the AI here will automatically clear up and rearrange your area so that it will become more easy to see. Right, so that is another AI for the 2D. Right, so another type of AI that we have inside of Fusions is the Toolpath automation. So this one is also require you to have an extensions. The generative design need you to have a simulation extensions where the Toolpath automations, this one need you to have manufacturing extensions. So currently there are two things that I would like to show you here. The first one is the hole recognitions. Basically, the AI automatically search all of the hole that you have, and it will create the drilling operation for you. And the second one is the steep and shallow. So if you have a very complex geometry and you want to minimize your time to create this, so this is where you can use steep and shallow. So, but the first one, I'll show you about the Toolpath, the hole recognitions. Let me just close the things that I don't need here first. Right, so I say this area over here. So I have a few holes that I want. So if I have a machining extensions, manufacturing extensions, I should have access to the hole recognitions. So if you go to this manufacturing here, and you can go to drilling operations. So normally you will use drills, and you need to specify the area that you want to use, what the tool size required for this, or you can use the hole recognitions. It will done the drilling operation automatically for you. Okay, so for my case here, it's already, I already have, so that is the reason why it will be ignored. So this is an example. Let me just delete this one first. Okay, let's say I don't have yet any drilling operations. I can now add it. So you see it's automatically find the diameter that's suitable for that hole. And you also apply the actions suitable for that particular hole. Let's say this one is for spot drill, countable. Okay, so maybe this one is for drill countersink hole. Okay, so other area that not really suitable, it will also ignore. So if I take a look here, which is the area, so basically this area is not actually what I want. So automatically it will be ignored. But for now, if I just click OK, it will generate the during Toolpath operation form. So automatically it will create all of this. I can also go inside and do some editing if I want to. So it's not just one tools with one design history over here. So I can still go over here and I can edit this, let's say tool, for example. So that is the whole recognitions. And the other part for the machinings is steep and shallow. So I have one example here. So if I take a look here, if I use the normal method to do a milling operation for here, so I will need to have multiple toolpaths. So you can see some of the toolpath cannot move on certain area. Some of the toolpaths is not very smooth, the operation here. Okay, so you need to have multiple type of toolpath. Okay, so you can see if I have over here and move the second one, you can see there's still a rough surface. You can add another one, still have some more roughing surface, can add some more until I have a bit more smooth. Right. So if you have a steep and shallow, so steep and shallow is like an AI, it will find the area that's suitable for this to use. So the movement will be a bit smooth. So if I use steep and shallow over here, so if I click OK, so this one is just an example. Okay, I already have one at the top here. Okay, so the toolpath will try to find the area that able to cut easily, and it will try to make it the area become smooth. So this is just an example. Let me just delete this one. So I already have one here a bit more simplified so that you can see. So it will cover the overall structure of this area. So if I were to, let's say, simulate this one, so you can see the first part I have is for the roughing. So one, the roughing has been finished. Now is for the steep and shallow. Okay, so let me just speed up a bit. So you will see that the operation is very smooth. Okay, and a bit short in the short time. So this saved a lot of time. So not only saved a lot of time for engineer to figure out which tool to be used, also it will save a lot of time on the machining process as well, on the machine CNC. Right. So compared if you use the previous methods, so you need to use multiple tool area, right? So multiple area that I need to go to. Right, so that is for the machining AI. So I believe that is it for the Fusion one. But just a bonus here or extra here, Fusion also allow an add-ins. So if you want to have an add-in for machining, for example, you can go and download for the Cloud SCCAN, but I believe this one is paid. Okay, so this one totally will do everything, all the machining for you. Okay, or maybe I would like to add an image generator, so I can use Project Salvador. So I believe this one is free. I already have installed on my Fusion. So just a quick overview. So if I want to draw a sketch or something, if I want to add an image, so I can use the Project Salvador to generate the image that I want. So to get that, this Project Salvador, you can go to any web browser. Okay, and you can type in, let's say, Autodesk App Store. So you can download it from the Autodesk App Store. Let me just find it from here. I believe this is not. Let me just find, yeah, it should be this one. Okay, so I can search for Project Salvador. And this software here is for Fusion. So Once you download this software and once we install it, it will install directly inside of Fusion. And you can use this to generate an image. So I already have installed. So you see a panel over here. Let's say I would like to create a pattern, let's say a flower pattern, for example. So I can put in some prompt, let's say like an white flower line shape pattern, and I can generate an image. It will create an image for me, and I can add it over here. Right, so normally you can just use different type of AI if you want to generate an image, but which Project Salvador you can just directly generate inside of Fusion. And not only that, so if you have a very smooth line, that can easily be converted into Sketch. So another type of tools here from Project Salvador is the Generate Sketch. So I'm not sure if this is applicable or not. So let me just try this one first. If your image is a bit more simple, I believe should be able to create. Let me just test for this part. Right, so if this cannot, I'll show you one example. So this is the two image that I'm able to generate using the Project Salvador. And this image can be generated into a 2D sketch. And later you can basically extrude that. From here, I'm not sure it's able or not for this particular image. Right, so apparently it looks like it's able to generate. So I can just click OK. And I don't need the image anymore, so I can turn off the canvas. So this is the 2D sketch, right? Basically, it's a sketch. From what I can go inside and do some editing, for example. But since it's a sketch, I can use this to extrude. I'm not sure if I'm able to extrude this one. Let me just pick this area, for example. Okay. Yep, so I'm able to extrude that part. This inside here, I believe cannot. Okay, so I can generate that part. And I have 3D based on the 2D image that I have created. So that is the AI capability inside of Fusions. So I believe that is all that I would like to share with you. So thank you everyone for joining this free lessons. So that will be all from me. So thank you again. Have a nice day and bye-bye.